The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at theeppodcast.com.
And belly on up to the 9-foot homemade oak bar. Pour yourself a cold one. This is the EP Podcast. My name is Chris Lanuti. Welcome into my basement right here in Evergreen Park for 30 minutes of good in a world of dumb. It's all brought to you by the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. You need a bank you can rely on, one that knows your community and provides customized accounts and offers just for you. Count on the First National Bank of Evergreen Park, located at 95th and Pulaski. They're a locally based community bank committed to the people and businesses right here in Evergreen Park. And now when you open up a Total Access checking account, you get a $300 bonus. Open an account today. bankevergreenpark.com/totalaccess/EP or head on in there to the iconic building at 95th and Pulaski. $100 required to open. Requirements to qualify. Must use link to apply. Member FDIC. And from what I understand, the First National Bank of Evergreen Park, proud sponsor of the EP Podcast, has won multiple major awards recently. I've asked them to come in on the next episode just to tell us a little bit about it. Plus, I got to set up an account for the kids now. I got teenagers, and they're getting paid. Like, one's got a real job, and one's got, like, a job where he gets handed cash for mowing lawns. I mean, like, they need to be able to move their money around. This is kind of a new thing, so I figured, why not bring the experts in? You'll hear them on the next episode. This episode out a little bit late. Normally we're out when you wake up on Monday morning, but I was away for the weekend. We had a few things we had to fix up here in the studio, so we're going with the afternoon release of the EP Podcast, and it is a full show. You may not have a carnival this weekend to go to in Evergreen Park, but you do have Bloomsday right nearby. The organizers down here at the 9-foot homemade oak bar. That's a little bit later on in the show. Right now, join me down here at the 9-foot homemade oak bar. I love it whenever she stops by because I don't know, is this insulting to you? She's bubbly. You have a bubbly personality, Sara Klein, president of the Evergreen Park Chamber of Commerce. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? And no, I don't take offense to that. The best compliment I ever got was that I'm a walking exclamation point.
Well, that is true. Like, that's
I was like, that is the most kindest thing you've ever said to me.
That is 100% true. Wow. I'm going to start introducing you as that. Sara Klein, the walking exclamation point of Evergreen Park. We've talked before. We've had you down here. I love having you down to hear what the chamber's doing because I also get a lot of information about other things that are going on that people don't really get, unless they're listening to the show or when you come on the show. I mean, I don't think people would understand that the mayor and you walk around and visit businesses and knock on, people's doors and say, welcome to Evergreen Park. Like, I don't think anybody does that stuff. You guys are always really busy running around and doing things, and you have some events coming up. Are we doing another mixer? I went to the first mixer, and let me tell you something. If you have a business in Evergreen Park, or if you want to pretend that you have one and get free beer, you got to get to one of these mixers, because I go to the first mixer and they had 3 beers in an ice bucket when I walked in. I was like, are there only 3 beers for all of these people? And then I found the cooler and I was happy.
Oh yeah, that was loads of fun. Literally, I walked in, people were surprised because it was our first in-person event we've had in a long time. Like, even the one guy was like, I haven't been out of my house in 2 years. So they did it up. They had the great food. When I walked in, I was like, oh, they have liquor for everyone.
The food was nuts, but then the amount of, I was like, wow, this is a party.
Yeah, it was.
I wanted to stay.
Yeah, I won an umbrella, a golf umbrella. So, it was pretty amazing.
You're
like I said,
giving away stuff and you're boozing in the middle of the week. I mean, like, I don't know how you miss out on a chamber event right now. Like, these are the things I always wanted for the chamber, and I don't feel it was like that pre-pandemic. I know they wanted to do those kind of things, but they hadn't really gotten to it yet. And that was just like a party. I mean, I will tell you that I now have another person that's doing a podcast in the Broadcast Basement On Demand Radio Network who I met at the chamber, said she wanted to do a podcast, and now is producing her podcast down here in the basement. I met business owners that I had not met before. I mean, you've heard a few of them on the show over the last couple of weeks because they got excited about what the EP Podcast could do for them, or Socks in the Basement or whatever. It was a huge benefit to me, and I can't imagine it not being a big benefit to anybody that is doing business inside of Evergreen Park. So when is the next one?
Well, like I said, we do, again, I want to definitely let you know, though, this year is really about collaborate, not compete. So that's what that's why I wanted to get everyone together, get the businesses going, because
I'm all for that as long as somebody doesn't start another podcast.
Yes.
Then we're competing.
Oh, well, I'll only come to yours, okay?
I've been in a few radio wars. That would be a lot of fun. But I mean, once that starts, I'm just trying to crush the competition.
I got it. Well, we'll see at our next one. We do have an event coming up with OSF on June 22nd.
Okay.
So all of our events after hours are going to be consistently 5:30 to 7:30 so that nobody will ever be confused.
That's perfect.
So we're actually, as far as my understanding, we're having a barbecue outside at OSF Little Company. So AJ is coordinating everything, putting it together. So
we're doing an outdoor barbecue is what you're telling me.
That's what he told me we were barbecuing. So
well, this makes more sense because I'll be honest with you, I don't like going into hospitals. I really don't. Yeah. You know, I mean, like, I don't know how you have a good time in the hospital. Like, it's never been one of those things where it's like,
no one ever.
Hey, where do you want to have a party at? Let's do it in a hospital. Like, that is never fun for anybody. Even in the maternity ward where life is actually coming to fruition, not on like the sad levels, but like on the maternity ward.
Yeah.
It's still crying babies and all kinds of, you can't have a party in a hospital.
No, there's no parties there. But, you know, AJ does know how to make the party. So, you know, he came to check out the one at Marquette so he could see what they were going to do. So
he's got to one-up it?
Oh, I'm sure he does. I mean, no challenge here, AJ.
I want to have one. Do you think I could pull off one of these in the basement bar?
I think this would be the funnest.
Do you think the EP podcast could have a mixer in this basement bar?
You have more than just a cooler, too, so we're good.
That'd be an interesting one. Where are we going? This guy's basement?
This guy's basement. Just walk through the fence into the backyard. You might see a dog along the way, but it's okay. It's
Don't
not
worry,
scary
dog's
one.
friendly. Yeah, just.
We'll just put some chairs and we'll all sit here.
Get a couple of high tables and we'll have a big party in here. I'll throw on some tunes.
This is a classy basement.
Hey, I'll get one of my teenagers a DJ. We'll have a party.
I'm in. We needed someone for July, so now we'll write you down. Hold on.
Oh, man, my wife's going to love that one.
Yeah,
okay.
she will.
And then let's see what else. You've been doing the coffee chats. I've been going to these. I think these are fun. Golden Griddle.
Yeah.
Kelly Maroney's normally there.
Yes.
You obviously are not a breakfast person. I have not seen you at any of them. President of the Evergreen Park.
I actually ran
Chamber.
one by myself, but last time I couldn't make it. But this one I will be at. We'll be doing it on Friday, the 29th from 9 to 10. Like I said, all business owners, anyone's welcome to come. I mean, it would be great if the community started checking it out. But business owners, please come because the coffee chats are really a great way for us to connect, as well as if any businesses are attending, please bring any of your, if you have any stuff you want to market in our Welcome to the Village bags that the mayor and I do pass out, as you said.
Yeah.
Hand personally, if you see us on your Ring camera, don't worry, we're not trying to break in. But if they bring it to that breakfast, we can also stick any of their marketing in all of the folders that go out to all of our new residents.
That's awesome. Yeah, I will tell people, as somebody who's gone to a couple of them now, there's a few people that go to all of them, so we all say hi to each other. And then there's like a group that's just like, what's this going to be? And by the end of it, everybody's eating waffles and pancakes and laughing their butts off. So, I mean, it is actually a fun time on a Friday. I did walk out of the last one thinking, like, I don't even want to work now. I had too much fun at breakfast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's why the server there knows exactly that I just drink a lot of coffee. But it was funny that everyone followed suit and nobody ate breakfast the time I was willing to pay for everyone's breakfast. And
I showed up and I ate and I ordered first. I was like, can I get a menu? And as soon as I said, can I get a menu? 7 people asked for a menu. It's like a monkey see, monkey do thing.
You're the secret that
I'm
we
the
need
guy.
to bring you
I got
in.
it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. I'll be at that one,
but
too.
Then I'm the awkward one sitting there and eating nothing. But that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll come join. But we will be there.
How could you be awkward? You're the exclamation point of Evergreen Park.
I am.
So midweek last week, I'm out with the family. I'd actually brought them along. They were tagging along. I was doing a recording for Southside Pod, and then afterwards I was like, where do you guys want to eat? What are we thinking? They voted for Mexican food. I brought them to Americanos over at 111th and Western. And by the way, the empanadas there, that's my first time having those. Those are insane. I mean, really, you could just open up a business with the empanadas on the menu. Fill in the rest and you would never go wrong. And it's an interesting crowd. Like midweek, you got people coming back from like a baseball game, like Little League games. Looked like we had a group of moms that went out. They must do something like every week. They were enjoying the tequila bar, a huge selection of tequilas and whiskeys at that bar. We went with the family style taco trays, which essentially allowed me to pick 12 different tacos, get all the sides with it. An absolutely awesome price. We went brisket, we went pork, which is really hot. It's like this spicy pork with pineapple on it. It's the hottest taco on the menu, I believe. They do catering. Check them out at their website, americanosrestaurant.com, or just stop in there for the absolute best and authentic Mexican-American food you can find just outside of Evergreen Park at 11060 Southwestern Avenue. Sara Klein, Evergreen Park Chamber of Commerce. Golf is coming up. This is something that I want to talk about before I let you go, okay?
Yes.
And you're a golfer, from what I understand, an avid golfer, right?
Avid golfer, yes.
What's your handicap?
Everything.
That shows.
Just ask Tom Olenberg how great I am at golf.
That shows how little you know about golf. That I asked, "What's your handicap?" and you said everything.
Everything. It's all a handicap. I'm handicapped. I'm going to be the photographer.
That's not what it means, Sarah. Your handicap is how many, that's like extra strokes you get so that you can keep up with better golfers. That's your handicap.
But listen, I am an awesome mini golfer. No one can take me. In fact, last time I played, people were clapping because my hole ones. It's a long shot I'm not that good at, you know.
You're good with the windmill, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I can't see that flag that far, you know.
Okay, so first we have a warm-up at the golf range. I did this last year. This was fun because it was just kind of like a thing where people got out there and tried as hard as they could to hit a golf ball. And what was interesting about it is that you had Tom Olenberger. And you know what? I like Tom. Tom is a retired businessman here in Evergreen Park.
But I hear he might come.
And he still hangs out at chamber stuff, and he's a big golf guy, and he shows up and he tells people like, oh, I would do it like this. Like he's teaching people like little tricks to help them out at the golf range, which was kind of nice.
Yeah, and if you look at the chamber website, it'll fool you that Tom and I are together right on that putting range from last year. And like I said, it will be a great thing. We're having, we changed it up a little this year. Yeah. So new and exciting for July 15th. We are actually we were going to do member, non-member price. I said, no. We're not going to do any of that because we want the whole community to come. Anyone. The most exciting.
Even if you're not a business owner.
Even if you're not a business owner.
Show up to the driving range.
Show up to the driving range. It is $10 across the board for everybody.
Unlimited balls.
Unlimited balls. We're going to have a hot dog, a drink. They do have alcohol there. You can get a soft drink, whatever the case may be. But again, we wanted to open it up, not just to if you own a business, but come out and join your business owners or your community. And
the EP podcast guy will be there.
Yes,
I like
he will.
To this one.
Oh my gosh, because he was there last year. Yeah. I heard he was doing a really good interview. I had a few photos of that. Yeah.
He gets out there. He likes to hit the golf balls every once in a while.
Yeah, so we'll have the 10 lanes again. So like I said, registration, get on there, get it done. But everyone is invited.
Yeah, we've talked about this before on the show. I am not a good golfer, but what I am is very good at the 3 or the 4 iron. That's all I can hit. I hit it nice and straight. I'm like Happy Gilmore. I kind of rear up for it. I hit it like I'm hitting like a low pitch in a softball game, and I drive that sucker right down the middle as far as you could probably hit an iron. And everything else goes into the woods, into the lake, into the sand trap, straight up in the air like a pop-up and 3 feet away. I can't hit anything. I'm a terrible putter. But in your golf outing that's coming up in August, that's my type of outing because I'll get myself with 3 other people. I never pick a foursome too. I always just make myself a single and meet new people at these things. You know, I like to mingle. So
I like that.
I always like to mingle.
Yeah.
Okay. And I get in there and then it's best ball. So you're always hitting from whichever shot you liked the most when you're playing. So you just have to be good every once in a while. And that's my kind of golf tournament on the 5th.
Yes, I'm the good one at the end. I can just put it into the hole. But
see, we could be on a foursome
we could be a great team.
We just need somebody who can tee off and we're good.
And then you're speaking of the foursome, we're actually reducing the price for the foursome. So instead of the $280, because it was per person, we are going to do a foursome for $250.
And then what's the individual? Because people could still get an individual,
yes,
right?
you can get the golf cart and the barbecue for $70 per person.
Right.
So that's why instead we were like, let's do 4 for $250. So again, please sign up because we're going to be out of spots. So
really?
Yes.
So hurry up on this thing.
Yeah, we only have 70 spots.
Oh, gosh.
We cannot go over
I'm a last minute guy. I wait till the last minute to go and sign up for things.
So does everyone else.
Yeah.
I am like that too.
Well, that's a new thing with the pandemic. I've been talking to a lot of people that are doing events this summer. Like a lot of people have told me that when they used to do events, like whether they did like a beer fest or they did like an art fest or they did anything that they did where they were looking for a crowd, there used to be advanced tickets and they would get an idea of how many people are going to show up. And ever since people found out maybe 2 years ago that you could have plans and they could suddenly be changed instantaneously and everything went down in the garbage chute. Now, walk-up crowds are the things for these events, and it really throws off event organizers. I would imagine you guys are learning that too.
We're learning that too. Like I said, we're having a slow start, but I have a lot of hope that it'll get better. But again, we got to get people in. We got to get them going. That's why we're trying to, like I said, get pre-signed up, get going, because we're doing the sponsorships only till the 22nd of July as well. So for sure, get those signed up. We have great offers with that. And we're also we decided to not only do sponsorships for the golf outing, but if you sponsor the golf outing, we'll also do the sponsorship at the driving range, all inclusive, $200.
So I get the sponsorship at the driving range, sponsorship at the
golf outing.
If a business sponsors, do they also get to golf, or is that a separate thing?
That's a separate thing.
See how I was trying to get myself both?
I know.
I was working
totally,
on that.
You almost got me. I was almost like, hey, Chris, for you, anything.
The moment you would have said that, I would have pulled out my wallet.
I was on a recording. I know I'm being recorded and monitored, okay? I'll get fired. No.
Get to evergreenparkchamber.org. That's the website, right?
Yep.
Get the details. You can actually sign up for things, pay for things all on the website. They're very efficient when they do things. Sarah, thanks so much. You are the exclamation point of Evergreen Park.
Thank
you. We have Butch Zemar here pulling up a stool. We're with him next. He is going to give away a foursome or add 3 people to his foursome because he's a one-some right now.
Oh.
And we're going to talk with him next right here on the EP podcast. It is now time for your EP podcast bulletin board, brought to you by Cool Clouds Vapor Shop. Quitting smoking is hard. Cool Clouds wants to help you out with an alternative. Full Taster Bar, great CBD products as well. They've been helping people for years here in Evergreen Park. They want to give you an option. Stop in today at 3837 West 95th Street or visit them online at coolcloudsvapor.com. The Evergreen Park Library is having a mini field trip this week on the 16th of June. Children and adults are welcome to pay $3 and attend their Little Red Schoolhouse nature trip. There are several live animal exhibits inside of the center as well. Bus leaves at 1 p.m. on Thursday, the 16th, and heads back at 2:45. A nice quick trip with the kids. This is for families with children ages 2 to 11. Kids have to be accompanied by an adult. Register at the library. Look it all up online, evergreenparklibrary.org. As their summer reading program continues, the kids can get an awful lot of really great things that they're a part of it. The Read Beyond the Beaten Path program going on until the end of July. You can still sign up as well at evergreenparklibrary.org. This Thursday, there is also a fried chicken luncheon, 11 a.m. at the Evergreen Park Community Center. $10 ticket must be purchased at the center by the day this episode comes out, the 13th of June. It is presented by the Evergreen Park Senior Council, but it is open to all. Give them a call, 708-422-8776. The Youth Department presenting yet again an American Academy of Pediatrics babysitter class, Saturday the 25th of this month at the Community Center, 3450 West 97th Street. It's from 9 a.m. until 3:30, and it's $50 per student, only 10 kids per class. Bring a bag lunch as well. If you have questions, 708-229-3377. Our good friends over at Sid Sauce, that is the wonderful Evergreen Park couple that is creating delicious hot sauces right here in Evergreen Park. They want to remind you they're offering free delivery to local customers going door to door. Hot sauce is good for the immune system because it contains beta-carotene and antioxidants, and it speeds up your metabolism, but it also just makes the food spicier and better. Look them up on Facebook, Sid Sauce, and try some out for yourself. It's the only sauce I use now. Those of you in Evergreen Park trying to keep your independence or help somebody that you care about keep their independence, and you're looking for some home care, we have a local registered nurse. This is a local business, Hibernian Home Care. It helps out those recovering at home from an illness, hospitalization, suffering from dementia, Alzheimer's, living with a chronic health condition, maybe terminally ill, or just a fall risk. licensed with the Illinois Department of Health, overseen by healthcare professionals, great care at a very affordable price. Learn more at hibernianhomecareservice.com or give Mary Murphy a call at 708-634-2450. That is your EP Podcast Bulletin Board. If you have something for the Bulletin Board, reach out to us at theeppodcast.com. Sitting down here at the 9-Foot Homemade Oak Bar, Butch Zemar of Elite Benefits of America, who you may have heard the Zemar podcast, which is produced down here at the 9-Foot Homemade Oak Bar. He's one of the local business people that actually run a podcast, and we produce it here in the broadcast basement. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You have an idea, and that's why I have you in here. Sara Klein just sat down with us to talk about everything going on with the Chamber of Commerce, including the big golf outing coming up, and you're looking for a foursome. Tell me about. It's not that you're unable to find friends, right, Butch? Like you're doing this for a reason, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to shake hands with other business people in the marketplace that may be interested in coming out. A lot of business gets done on the golf course. A lot of people already know that, and I figured it'd be an opportunity to meet new people on your network and see if they want to go golf and hit some balls and maybe talk golf for a little bit and then maybe a little business in between.
My dad told me that when I was little. He was like, "You got to learn how to golf," and I was like, "Why? It's stupid." Like I think that was what my reaction was. It's stupid. Why do I have to learn golf?
He's like, a white ball.
Right. If you go into business in any way, people get things done on a golf course. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Why can't they just get it done at a baseball game? I can't do it someplace else. He's like, you're going to have to learn how to play golf. And I'm a terrible golfer. You're paying for the whole foursome.
That's correct. I'm paying for it.
You're paying for it. So this is 3 free spaces at the Evergreen Park Chamber of Commerce golf outing. And the only thing you have to do is golf with Butch. It's like, what is golfing with Butch going to entail? This is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, tons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to laugh at me a little bit. I'm a little bit of a hacker. I did not officially learn how to golf. I actually technically didn't start golfing until I got married. And
you were a scuba diver first,
I was
right?
huge.
That's like your thing is scuba diving.
For sure.
Very different things.
Oh, totally. Well, we did a little golfing underwater, but that's a different topic.
You've done that before?
A little bit. I mean, it's a little bit abbreviated. But
do you actually hit a real golf ball when you're underwater in the scuba gear?
No, come on. There's water resistance underwater. But, well, we definitely find a lot of golf balls, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, you'd be perfect for it. If you hit one into the water, Butch can retrieve your ball. Is that
That's
something?
Essentially, it is, yes. But I think I'm overcharged. I overcharge these days, so it's not going to work. Yeah.
All right. That's a separate charge.
That's separate.
It's separate.
Yeah.
Okay, You're getting free golf. You're not getting him in a scuba outfit, going down into the water to get your ball back after you hit it in there. All right. So this is a kind of a fun event, and it'll be fun. I like to meet new people on this. I do. When I never pick a foursome. Every time I do this, I sign up as a single golfer, and I let them put me with new people. I have a blast doing that. I met new people at the last one. I had a blast doing it. I'm going to do it again this year. So this is a great opportunity to be with somebody who's fun like Butch. You can ask him about his podcast, his scuba diving, the fact that he used to work on Navy jets, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's correct.
So he'll tell you what it's like aboard an aircraft carrier. All right. And because he has this company, Elite Benefits of America, he helps people with their insurance cost, which is kind of cool. So I've learned more listening to your podcast on insurance, about insurance, than I thought there ever was. Like, I was an uninformed person when it came to health insurance and how it works in this country. I know so much after listening to the Zemar podcast, and I know this is what you specialize in, like how to keep the cost down, how insurance really works, how people view it the wrong way. And like, you not only help out like the person that is working for the company and get it down, but you help out the company and their costs so they can do better for their employees. So I think that's really cool. And like, if you're going to go and play golf, scuba, understanding the insurance thing, and listening to Butch talk about working on an aircraft carrier, that's a good day while you're out there hacking away, right?
Correct, right? There might be a couple beers in between.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah.
I always need a beer to get through your insurance talks.
Yeah, I'm sure. Some people would rather go to root canal than deal with health insurance.
Yeah, but
right?
you know what? But it's smart too. I mean, like, I've used some of the stuff that you've talked about on the show in my own personal life, like the idea that sometimes they screw up the billing on things and how to spot that. And like, I got out of $1,000 bill in the last year because of something I heard on your show. And I realized that we had been charged for something we should have never been charged for. And if I would have just kind of shrugged, I would have thought, oh, this is normal. I guess I got to bite the bullet on this. This sucks. No, I got rid of that thing immediately, and it was all because I listened to the show. So it's really informative if you ever want to dive into insurance, and Butch will talk more about it if you're part of the foursome. So starting next week, we'll start the contest. Okay,
sounds good.
You asked me to do this. Listen on the EP podcast. Well, actually, you know what? I'll kick it off now. The first 2 weeks, we'll give 2 weeks for the first person, and then every week we will draw a new person. You enter by going to the eppodcast.com, and very simply write us a message. It's easy to do. There's a thing where you can leave a message and send it to us. You just have to type it in, or click on the little blue microphone that shows up on whatever device you're using, and you can leave a voicemail, and you give us your information. Tell us you want to be a part of it. If you want to share a golf story, an insurance story, a story about being on an aircraft carrier, Butch would love that. You don't need to do those kind of things, okay? If you want to talk up why you should be part of the group, I'm cool with it. But I would imagine anybody can do this, right?
Anybody.
But it would benefit somebody who has a small business to be in your group, right?
It would. But anybody could participate. But yeah, the ones that will probably benefit is just shaking hands with other business owners.
That's awesome. Free golf brought to you by Butch Zimar. Be in his foursome at the Evergreen Park Chamber of Commerce Golf Outing. Again, go to the eppodcast.com and enter. All you have to do is send us a message or leave us a voicemail. You can do that. That's simple. Then we are going to raffle off and draw random folks who have put in on it, and they are going to be part of Butch's foursome. And I look forward to seeing your foursome out at the links.
I appreciate this, Chris, and it'll be a lot of fun.
This past weekend, I was up at the lake. I'm talking to my dad, and he's got a CPAP machine, right? And I'm sitting there talking up Hyatt Home Medical Equipment right here in Evergreen Park because Hyatt's got, like, testing rooms for these machines. Like, they not only sell, like, the best options for these machines, but they'll actually let you go in and try them out in a private room. And right away, he looks at me and he goes, "Where's this place at?" And I tell him, and he goes, "That's where I go." He actually blew out both of his patellar tendons and needed like a medical bed. A lot of the medical equipment that he used to be able to stay mobile and stay in his home and not in a hospital ward for months, he got at Hyatt Home Medical Equipment. They work with your insurance, and they're trying to make sure that no matter where you are, if this is like a temporary thing or something that's a little bit more permanent as you're getting older, you stay independent, you stay in your home. Let's say you have a parent that uses oxygen. Wouldn't you feel better if you were able to get an extra tank or two? You go pick that up at Hyatt Home Medical Equipment, you worry less. Stop into the big brand new showroom, really friendly people, 3518 West 95th Street in the heart of Evergreen Park, or visit them today and learn more about them at hhme.com. Joining me down here at the 9-foot homemade oak bar, very nice to have these two ladies here, Maureen Weber and Sheila Sullivan. How are you?
We're doing great.
You guys are coming down here because there's something called Bloomsday that I've never heard about. It's got a funny little caricature of a guy with a mustache looking through some glasses and a top hat on the symbol that I got sent to me. It's green, so I'm assuming it has something to do with the Irish, because everything on the south side is green and has something to do with the Irish. And I see something about the Gaelic Park players being there, but I have no idea what it is. So who would like to tell me a little bit about what this is?
I can start. So Bloomsday is one day that is dedicated to when the novel Ulysses by James Joyce was set. The date that novel takes place is June 16th, 1904. He actually decided on that date because that was the day that he met his common law wife, Nora Barnacle. So the novel follows certain characters, and one of those characters is Leopold Bloom. In the novel, which is probably close to 1,000 pages, really all happens on one day in Dublin. So that's kind of like the Irish connection. And this year, 2022, is the 100th anniversary of the publication of this book, which was first published on February 2nd, 1922.
Interesting. And, you know, I see that it's coming up on Thursday, June the 16th. From what I understand, I mean, it's sad news, but it gives one less thing for you to compete against. The Most Holy Redeemer Carnival no longer going to happen that weekend. It's not happening.
I actually had no idea that we would be competing with that.
You were right up against a big carnival down the street, but now it's not happening because they can't find enough carnies to work the rides.
Wow.
And that's where we're at now as a society. We can't
find first world problems. Not enough carnies.
We cannot find enough carnies, but we have Bloomsday going to be at this. And so this is interesting. It sounds like we're celebrating a little Irish culture here. Absolutely. Sounds like we're celebrating a book. It's named after a character. It looks like there's going to be some music. Tell me a little bit about what the event, what are people going to get when they show up there?
Well, we're going to have the Gaelic Park players do some readings from the novel. And then after that, we're going to have some Irish dancing. We're starting with a prayer by Father Corcoran.
Of course. Look, the Irish like to pray. They pray before their games in Notre Dame. They pray before all their events. I mean, what the heck? I just went through 8th grade graduation week. I know you did too, with yours over at St. Barnabas. And we were talking about before we started talking. And it's like it was a prayer and then drinking. That's what every night, that's what it was. And it sounds like I'm going to do
Irish
more.
culture right there, right?
Yeah. It's a prayer before drinking. And then you pray later when you had too much to drink.
Yes, and we
might sing though, too.
We just want to, yes, exactly. There'll be singing, but we just also want to know that James Joyce himself wasn't a huge fan of the Catholic Church, and we kind of know that. But we think that he would have probably evolved into being okay with this.
You've made him Catholic now.
We've kind of, we've rechristened him. We brought him back to the fold.
You've adopted him. That's interesting.
Yes.
So besides the readings, we're going to have some Irish dancers as well.
Okay.
And then we're having some singers sing some songs from the book itself, because there's tons of music within the book. And then after that, we're hoping to have a session. So if anybody's out there and interested in bringing their instrument and coming in around 9 o'clock and playing.
You're going to have a jam session?
We might.
Do you have to be able to jam the Irish music, or what kind of jamming are we doing here?
So I want to go back.
Not doing heavy metal.
No heavy metal.
Yeah.
So we want to do a couple of things. First of all, the Larkin and Warren brothers have generously agreed to donate their time to come and play for us. So they'll be playing for part of that time. And we hope to end with something called an Irish sing-song or an Irish session. So really what that is kind of an impromptu. You can be singing, playing instruments, telling jokes, reciting poems, any kind of skill that you have. And there's no pressure. Certainly you don't have to show up and do that if you don't want to. But it's just a way that we're going to hope to end it.
Okay, it's going to be at Barney Callahan's Pub, 10618 Southwestern Avenue. It is Thursday, June the 16th. Kicks off at 7. It says it goes till 10. I would imagine this party will continue
Who knows?
well after
Who
that.
knows?
It is only $35. It's cash only. Drinks are included in that. Anytime I see $35 and my drinks are included.
It's really a bargain.
Seriously, like I'm gonna drink. I could drink $35 in an hour. You're giving me 3.
Awesome.
All right, exactly. All proceeds are going to Concern USA, raising money for the Ukraine. So it's actually going to a good cause. If you want to hear the complete and full interview that I did with these ladies, you can continue this interview, hear what it's like to be a first-generation American, whether or not that makes a difference when you celebrate Irish events on the South Side, and learn more about Bloomsday and what's coming up this Thursday. Check it all out at southsidepod.com. It is up now on demand, so as this show ends, you now go and listen to the full Bloomsday description and all of that, and there's much, much more on that episode. You can get it anywhere podcasts can be found, and always at southsidepod.com. This is the EP Podcast. We will see you soon. Have a great week.
Another show isn't wrapped up. Another show's in the books. Another show isn't wrapped up. And then by the looks, it's gonna be a good one. And we'll see you next week. And the nude is basement. And the nude is basement. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. And it's in the books. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. And by the looks, it's gonna be a good one. Nudie's Basement. Broadcast Basement. The Nudie's Basement. The Broad Basement. Slancha.
The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the EPPodcast.com.